With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back, trackside. Once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the ASMR Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series fires things off for round number 1. Chasing after a championship, 5 weeks of championship action coming up right around the corner. But first, tonight, we're going to kick off the playoffs with the Michigan Madhouse. 216, that's right. 216 miles, 108 laps around this massive D-shaped 2-mile oval here in the Irish Hills, Brooklyn, Michigan. An amazing crowd on hand as qualifying already well and underway. Just 2 minutes remaining. So before we head trackside for those qualifying times, how you doing? How you feeling? Out there in TV land, race fans, glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave in the Cave, bringing you all the calls from trackside. And as we spoke about trackside, let's go ahead and fulfill those promises. There you can see top of the speed charts. Quick time here in qualifying belonging to the number 1 machine of Brendan Mathia. Brendan laying down a 38.23, just a few thousandths of a second faster than Christian Abate. We'll see if Christian can get his championship hopes off to a good start here tonight. Just about 60 seconds remaining in qualifying before these drivers will make their way through pre-race inspection and onto the starting grid. We're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Head trackside for your national anthem and starting lineup. Racing right around the corner. Once again, here on a Wednesday night, get your adrenaline fix with the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back live right here from Michigan.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And back trackside as promised as we take a look at Old Glory flying high here at Michigan International Speedway. Drivers have begun to make their way to the starting grid, so what do you say we get a little bit closer before the drivers receive the signal to roll off of the starting grid? Long night of racing ahead of these drivers. A road to get here, long road to get to the championship. 5 weeks of championship action starts now. 19 drivers in the field tonight vying for a shot at a checkered flag We'll see which one of these drivers can get the job done and who's left on the outside looking in. A slim number of drivers to victory lane this season. Only 6 different winners. It is tough to get a win in the series. We'll see which one of these drivers keep themselves out of trouble and keep themselves within striking distance as we get ready. Start to hear official chatter from race control. And it looks like the majority of the drivers giving the thumbs up, ready to go for tonight's Michigan Madhouse 216. Right here from Michigan International, I about said Super Speedway. And you know what? It may very well be a Super Speedway. One of the few tracks that drivers are facing speeds upwards of 200 miles an hour. We'll see how high the top speed gets tonight as drivers begin to put it in gear. Pace car rolls off. You can hear the familiar sounds begin in the background. You know, it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup in the Michigan Madhouse 216, starting inside row number 1, walking away with the pole position here tonight. He's going to bring the field to the green flag. Behind that one, Brendan Mathia. Christian Abati just to his outside with Alec Bledsoe and Donovan Carty. In row 2, row number 3 here tonight, Derek Moore and Ed Hauck. Row 4, Cody Schultz and Andrew Walt. Nicholas Wing and Brian Tarnowski. Round out your top 10, Riley Hoots, Andrew McConville back in row number 6, and in row number 7 here tonight, firing off from the 13th starting position behind the wheel of the number 4 machine, Daniel Jensen. Patrick Coro, 14th just to his outside, Jake Ennis, Jeffrey Engel back in row 8, row number 9 tonight, the 38 of Zach Miller, and the 11 of Alex Wiggins. 404, tail end of the field. Dave Gage will start Shotgun Sally, and we're gonna get set to go green flag racing here from Michigan International Speedway. Pre-race penalty being handed out to the one of Brandon Mathia. He will not bring the field to the green flag. He's gonna start tail end now. So everybody moves up. 1 to go assigned this time around. Field gonna get sent to unleash the beast for the first time. Pound the pavement and begin the playoff run to lift the season hardware. Who's gonna get it done? I like to try to give out my championship favorite, my championship hopeful. A lot of times it may not line up with the vast majority of people's opinions, but you know what? For the moment, we're going to keep it calm. We're not going to say much about it, but we will throw it out there at some point in time throughout tonight's race. A driver that has ran very well this season maybe doesn't have quite the finishing numbers as far as victories are concerned, but he's been a driver that you've had to watch out for all season long. Talk about him through the course of tonight's 108 laps. Our good friend Leviticus gonna take the iRacing pace car down pit road. The field rolls into the restart zone for the first time here tonight, ready to mash the gas on the loud pedal, and green flag flies for the first time here from Michigan. Good start, 3 wide, back around that 5th position already. They're going to sort themselves out. Nicholas Wing, last week's race winner, trying to make some headway. The National Guard Subway Machine, he's going to grab a position or two here on the start. Still 2-3 wide back in the pack. Hot Exchange at the front, still battling side by side for the race lead. Alan Bledsoe gonna lead the first lap, accredited with leading the first lap here tonight. Great job to keep Abate, who's been challenging from the high side at bay. Derek Moore catfishing early here through 1 and 2. He's gonna keep it wound up on the bottom. Close quarters racing off of turn number 2. The 24 has the position. Abate in the 45 trying to find a way around. Peek the nose around just a little bit, but nowhere to go just yet as we cross the line. 2 laps behind us. We'll drop that timing scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you follow along and find your favorite driver in the field here tonight. Single file at the front, a little bit of a gap back from 3rd to 4th. Derek Moore turning in the fastest lap of the race last time by 38.62 for Moore. Behind the wheel of that Arts Marts number 16 machine. He's got some jalapeno chips coming my way. We've already talked about it, I believe, at some point in time in post-race interviews. And, well, we're going to go ahead and eliminate him. Derek, don't be mad at me, buddy. No hard feelings. I know we said if you get the championship, you got to send us some of those jalapeno chips. But unfortunately, not my pick. I want him to do well. I want some jalapeno chips. Don't get me wrong here. But at the same time, got a different driver on my radar that we're going to continue to look out through the course of the playoffs, and of course through the course of tonight's race. Abate losing a little bit of ground, following into the clutches of Derek Moore. Hot and heavy battle all throughout the field. Let's jump around the track just a little bit. There you can see the number 3 Miller Light Machine of Donovan Cardi sitting in 4th position. Cody Schultz, Nicholas Wing, Ed Hauck right there. There's Riley Hoots in the Dodge number 9 machine. Throwback feel to the Bill Elliott days. Stacked up behind them. Andrew Walt, Brian Tarnowski going at it for position. Final spot inside of your top 10. But Thea now hanging on to the lead lap, but oh, just barely. He's going to run the fastest lap of the race. Mathia, 3 race penalty. And a stop and go. Penalty being served early here tonight. Long way to go. He's got a long and a lot of ground to try to cover and pick up. But Thea, back in 19th, looking to work his way back to the front. Stack up in the field right here, running behind the 5 of Cody Schultz. Nicholas Wing in the National Guard Subway Machine, sitting in the 6th position, knocking on the door of a top 5. Ed Hauck right there behind the wheel of that Bass Pro Shop Tracker Machine. And is that a Cheetos car? You gotta get out of here. Absolutely. That's fire. The only thing that would make it and they're flaming hot. There it is. You know what? We're just gonna go ahead and release it. Andrew Walt has been the driver that I've been looking at over the course of this season. One of the most consistent drivers in the field. Out of 10 starts this season, he's got 7 top 10s, 4 top 4s, right there in that consistency department with those drivers that have been to victory lane. He's got the finishes, he's got the speed, and we're going to look to see if this Flamin' Hot Cheetos driver can set the field on fire. I don't want to say shock the world because it's not going to shock me. This is my championship pick on screen right here. Hopefully we don't hit you with that broadcaster's curse. If you know, you know. But there it is. Cat's out of the bag. No pun intended with Chester on the hood there. And can we get a name change for him, please? By the way. Just saying. I think that's an unfair name for the Cheetos cat. Just saying. Looking to the inside is Alt. He's going to grab the position away from the Dodge number 9 machine, piloted by Riley Hoots. 25 of Jake Innes just off in front behind the wheel of that Navy number 25. A little bit of a wiggle out of the tail end, out of Nicholas Wing. And Innes seems to have found some speed. He's now looking to the inside of Innes. Or I apologize, looking to the inside of Ed Hauck. Meanwhile, a lot of different things in action going on the track. Jeffrey Engel of the 89, he's going to bring his machine to pit road early here tonight. Early pit stop for Engel. A lot of jockeying for position right around that 5th through 10th position on the track. Nicholas Wing, Cody Schultz, Jake Innes, Ed Hauck, Riley Hoots, Andrew Walt, all right here running super close with each other, all but throw a blanket over them. And not much going on at the front either. There's not much separation. Christian Abazzi has been able to stay on that rear deck lid of your race leader. He's been heating him up here, looking for the position. As the drivers go flying by down the backstretch and coming at you through turns 3 and 4, we'll round the corner. Lap number 13 will go on the board. Good green flag run to open things up here tonight. From Michigan International Speedway, you're watching the Michigan Madhouse 2. The 16 chase race number 1 here in season number 8 for the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series. An amazing league, amazing series. Doesn't matter what machine they seem to find themselves in. Always provide some great racing action out there each and every Wednesday night. You can find them right here on your home for the Hauck Designs series. That's right, the Turn 3 Racing Network coming live to you each and every Wednesday night. If you haven't already, show these drivers some love and appreciation. Let them know you enjoy and respect the content they provide week in, week out while you're here watching. Let's go ahead and drop these drivers that thumbs up. And if you're out there in TV land watching us, oh, into the outside wall goes Hoots. Hoots into the outside wall. Scrapes up the right side of that Dodge number 9 pretty heavily. Able to keep it headed in the right direction. Let's switch up here to the 3-car battle. Wing trying to separate himself from Schultz and Hauck. Jake Innes able to take over the 5th position, now up 10 spots from where he qualified. The 25 base mover of the race so far here tonight. But while you're here, who you got? Right? Who you got out there? Who you got winning the championship? Who do you got winning tonight's race? I think we're going to have an upset. Well, a presumed upset. We talked about them. We talked about those jalapeno chips Well, there's the man behind the wheel of that Arts Marts machine. The 16 of Derek Moore has been fast week in, week out. An amazing season so far here for Moore as well. 6 top 10s, 5 top 5s. An amazing season stat, an amazing run this year. Only Christian Aponte with more top 5s than Derek Moore, so it's no surprise that that 45 right there at the front of the field battling for the race lead. Aponte has finished inside of your top 10 every single week and has 8 top 5s to go along with it. So again, it's not always about winning, but it is about being there week in, week out. The natural light, number 3 Chevy Impala, going to close right in the tail end of the Ford Fusion. A Donovan Carty shot out of a cannon. One of the fastest drivers on the track. Past 2 laps, Carty looks to the insides, got to get out of it, almost in. To Moore on the outside, Carty going to give up a ton of ground. 4-5. Carlinks lost after the moment. Coming out of turn number 2, he's going to settle back into 4th. 3/4 of a second advantage back to the 25 of Jake Innes. So a nice, comfortable little lead there for Carty. He's going to have to corral the car. I'm sure the tires are not happy after that big slide from the bottom. We're going to head back a little deeper in the field, back around that 10th position there. You can see once again Cody Schultz and Hauck Riley Hoots. Nicholas Wing, Andrew McConville, Brian Tarnowski, and Andrew Walt now dropping 4 positions from where he qualified. Alt drops to 12th. Big tracks, a lot of green flag laps. We'll set sail with lap number 20 underway this time around as the 10 looks to try to make some moves here. And well, McConville trying to get by Tarnowski. And yes, you seen it. Sponsored by Depends. Here tonight at Michigan Heat. Might need them if there's a high-speed moment. Big trouble if you gotta have some of those. But I guess in a world full of moments, I guess it's not bad to protect yourself. I would like to say moving on from the Depends machine, but we're going to stay right here as things begin to heat up. Between the 10 of McConville and the 29 of Andrew Alt closed right in on the rear spoiler, but unable to make a move, unable to take the run anywhere. McConville loses a little bit of ground to Tarnowski as Alt does the same. Just around a quarter of the way through tonight's race, we're going to jump trackside, bring you some of the sights and sounds here from Michigan. It looks like we may have lost the field there for a moment. As green flag pit stops into Abati Cardi all to pit lane. And Alan Bledsoe could inherit a little bit bigger race lead at the front now, a second and a half back to Derek Moore behind the wheel of that number 16 machine. Jake Ennis looks like he may be eyeballing a green flag pit stop. Alan Bledsoe, Moore, Ennis all to pit road. Cody Schultz in the ADS machine going to come down pit lane as well. The entire top 10 going to file their way onto pit road. Looks like only the one of Brandon Mathia staying out on the track, but Mathia already with the pit stop back on lap number 22. Christian Abati going to come back out onto the track in front of Donovan Carty with a little bit bigger advantage. And coming up pit road just about 2 laps prior to the big pack on pit lane right now, Christian Abati going to leapfrog the field. How big of a gap does he gain within just the course of 1 lap? And a huge swing. Look at this. Over a 3-second gap gained by coming to pit road 1 lap sooner. We're going to take a look at these pit times real quick. Let's see if we get an eyeball for it. And actually, faster on and off of pit road by just a couple of hundredths. It was Alan Bledsoe, but the pit crew, 0.2 of a second slower than the pit crew of Christian Abati, so able to get the work done 0.2 quicker, equating to a ton of track time. Bledsoe gonna move his way back around Derek Moore. That's where the battle's at. 2-3 car battle going on here as Bledsoe and Moore go at it for 3rd position. Jake Ennis able to close in on the front of the field as well. Had a bit of a gap before the round of green flag pit stops. Now the Navy sponsored number 25 right here, able to possibly work his way into the 3rd position. Donovan Carty, he's not too far away. Carty right there sitting in 2nd now, able to jump from 3rd to 2nd. So Carty with a great pit stop as well. Andrew Walt jumping from 12th to 8th with his pit cycle exchange. So a lot going on, a lot on the line, a lot at stake. Let's check out your championship 5. Front of the field showing the way coming into tonight's race with an opportunity to separate himself in the winner's column, separate himself in the championship standings. It all starts tonight right here in the Michigan Madhouse 216. Christian Abati leads the field. Next on our list of championship drivers, we've mentioned his name. We told you he's our sleeper, our dark horse pick to walk away with the season hardware behind that Flamin' Hot Cheetos number 29 machine. Andrew Walt running inside of the top 10. Once again, the number 29 since in 7th. He's been fast week in, a week out. A ton of pole positions to his name so far this season, sitting 5th on the scoring pylon, up 10 positions from where he qualified. Biggest mover of the race behind the wheel of that 25 machine. Jake Ennis running well. And as to nobody's surprise, another championship driver inside of your top 5, 16 from Derek Moore. They're trying to keep it wound up on the high side, looking for a way around Carty while trying to keep Bledsoe at bay. Derek Moore looking to start his championship off on the right foot And finally on our list, rounding out your top 10 here tonight behind the wheel of that ADS, number 5 machine, Cody Schultz. He's had a fantastic finish to the regular season, has had a great run so far this year. Looking to improve that average finish over the course of these next 5 weeks. This is when it all matters. This is when it comes down to lap number 31 on the board. Drivers chasing after a checkered flag. Drivers chasing after a championship trophy. So big shout out to each and every one of our championship 5. They've got a handful of weeks to get the job done, but you gotta get in that mind state. You gotta get in that mentality now. It's all about me. I don't care about you. It's time to win the Season 8 championship here with the ASMR Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series. And again, want to take a moment as we're maybe closing in on a third of the way through tonight's race. Want to give a huge shout out to all of the sponsors, all of the fans, all of the supporters that join us week in, week out, whether it's myself, David the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. Without you, there would be no us. We have asked in the past, help us get to a goal, and you help provide that over the course of this last year. We've got a new goal in mind we're trying to focus in on for. Let's push it to the limit. Let's get that 4,000 subscriber mark. It's on to the sky from there. I know we can count on you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for choosing to tune in and turn up right here with the Turn 3 Racing Network. Green flag action still underway here at Michigan. 34 laps of green flag action. Christian Avanti out to a comfortable advantage after our first round of green flag pit stops. Derek Moore, Alan Bledsoe battling for the second and third position on track. Jake Innes has lost touch a little bit. He's going to fall back to fourth. Or I apologize, Donovan Carty going to drop from second all the way back to fifth. Innes going to inherit a position from Carty's troubles. We got some more close battles out on the track. What do you say we go take a look and watch some of them unfold? Last week's race winner from Bristol Motor Speedway, taking the sword at the last Coliseum. Nicholas Wing running in the 8th position. Ed Hauck right there behind the wheel of that Bass Pro Shop Tracker Club car. The number 7 machine sitting inside of your top 10 right there with the ADS. Number 5 of Cody Schultz finishing out your top 15. Alex Wiggins with a good run so far here tonight. And a big tip of the cap to the man behind him on track and behind him on the scoring charts, Dave Gage. If you're a fan of the ASMR Hauck Design Series, you know the name. Familiar veteran. We've talked about him in season past with championship hopes, championship opportunities laid out right before him. Last season was in contention to walk away with that season championship. But something this season has just been off. Just unfortunate circumstances have seemed to find a way to ruin his day. I mean, going from championship to only finishing inside of the top 10 2 times so far this season. Dave Gage has just had an absolute rough go. Not sure if talks have already begun for season number 9. But pretty sure Gage is going to be happy to get out of this machine. And you know, that's the beautiful thing about iRacing. Look at these drivers here battling for position. 4 drivers all over each other. You take these same guys and put them in a Gen 6 car, and you may not get the same result. So, whoa, big wiggle from the bottom to the top. Ed Hauck out of control out of turn number 2. He wrecked it. He just didn't crash it right there. But as we were saying, you put these same drivers in a different machine, and some of them may be just as good. A handful of them are going to be better. A handful of them are going to be a little worse. Just because you can drive one, the style, the aerodynamic demand, the mechanical grip needed for some of the different models over the course of the years here. Change the complexity of how these drivers got to work the wheel. Speaking of work the wheel, let's go inside the number 5 of Schultz. Let's ride with the championship competitor. There you can see out the windshield as he tries to run down Nicholas Wing. Just off in front of him with Andrew Walt, Riley Hoots out in the distance. And this gives you a little bit of perspective of not just the banking here at Michigan, but also how wide the surface is. I mean, just as wide as Daytona and Talladega on these back stretches and through the front stretch, an absolute monstrous amount of room. Grip at a premium. You can hear Schultz have to feather the throttle. But these two working together, they have ran down the 2 drivers in front. Let's jump outside of the car and watch the battle unfold here. Nicholas Wing gonna reel in Riley Hoots. That's gonna allow Andrew Walt to scoot away for just a moment here. Walt gonna pick up a position to move into that 6th spot. Now under fire, a little bit of right side damage too. You'd see it right above that right front. A little bit of fender damage. That's going to put a damper on the day for the Dodge machine. Not sure he's going to be able to put up much of a fight here and there. You can see right to the bottom of the racetrack, looking to take the spot away. Nicholas Wing not gonna clear. Oh! And there you can see, perfect example. That's what you gotta watch out for. You go to the bottom, you gotta clear that driver. You gotta clear him coming up out of 2. You get super loose from a tight condition. It's a tough handling experience to tell you. The car just won't turn, it just won't turn, it just won't turn. And then all of a sudden, back end jerks and breaks loose a little bit. There it is, Ed Hauck into the outside wall. Into the outside wall, hard impact for the 7 Bass Pro Shop machine. And a victim of circumstance, just like we were talking about. Back end got loose, overcorrected a little bit, and wham, right in to that outside wall. Michigan, one of the big tracks, seems fairly easy, right? Nice big racing surface, nice long corners, a lot of racing room. this track is a brutal one. You can easily overthink the pit strategy. You can easily overstep the grip levels, and you can easily find yourself into the outside wall. A handful of drivers into the outside wall early here tonight as we inch closer to the halfway point here tonight. Lap number 46 goes on the board. Christian Abbate still out front, maintaining over a 3-second advantage, and it's all been from that round of green flag pit stops. That's where he got the race lead. That's how he got to the front. The man sitting behind him, unable to, oh my goodness, unable to really reel him in at all over the course of this run. Who kept him at bay that entire first green flag run. Just seems to have some struggles back here with some of the other drivers in tow. Jake Ennis, an amazing run to the front, now up 12 positions from where he qualified. Ennis going to move his way into third. Derek Moore falls back to fourth. Donovan Carty still rounds out your top 5. And back to the point, back to the race lead once again, Alan Bledsoe. Get it here at the race lead as Abbate, Carty, and Schultz come to pit lane. Scheduled pit stops here on lap number 48. Drivers staying true until that 24-25 lap run here tonight from Michigan International Speedway. And there you can see Bledsoe, he's going to peel off, and Jake Ennis will stay out on track. So already some differing strategies beginning to play out early here in the Michigan Madhouse 216. Brought to you by the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series, and it's going to show the way. Derek Moore going to stay out on track. Contact, slight contact with that outside wall for Moore. Handful of drivers yet to make their second stop of the night. Innocent Moore going to be the next drivers down pit lane. Christian Abbate moves his way back inside of the top 10. Nicholas Swing to pit road this time around. Where does Tanowski go? He's going to bring the Depends machine down pit road. Get a change out as well. Dave Gage, Zach Miller, McConville, all to pit lane. That's going to be the finish of your green flag pit cycle. Christian Abbate out front and able to gain even more time over this field. Man, Abbate in his own zip code. I mean, absolutely gone. Over a 5-second advantage now, back to the 24 of Alan Bledsoe, who has been one of the fastest drivers in the field, just unable to keep pace. We'll wait the green flag pit cycle to finish itself out, and we'll give you your driver a rundown here from Michigan International Speedway. Front of the field, safe to say he's going to remain there barring any crazy type of catastrophes. Front of the field, showing the way so far here tonight for the majority of tonight's race. Behind the wheel of that number 45. Fast as always, Abbate searches for victory lane to start his playoff run. Quick early here tonight at the start of the race, Springfield, Missouri's very own Alan Bledsoe looking to get that iconic DuPont Chevy Monte Carlo back into victory lane. Bledsoe sits in second. An amazing qualifying effort, an amazing job so far here tonight. Donovan Carty running well. Looking to get that natural light machine a little further back up through the field. He's been inside of the top 5 pretty much all night long. Carty sits in 3rd. Battle right here to his inside. Derek Moore, Arts Martz, number 16 machine, looking to start his championship hopes in the right direction here tonight from Michigan as well. Looking for his 2nd win on the season, but fighting for 3rd. Derek Moore gonna run in 4th. Final driver rounding out your top 5, embroiled in a battle for the final podium position, now moving to the 4th spot, up 11 positions from where he qualified, behind the wheel of that Navy number 25, Jake Hennis, looking to get to victory lane for a 2nd time, but more importantly, looking to pile on those coveted playoff points. So that's going to be a rundown of your top 5, your driver highlights and spotlights as we bring you the mid-race report live right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network from Michigan International Speedway. You're watching the Michigan Madhouse 216, 19 drivers to the starting grid, 17 still out on track with only 16 left on the lead lap. So there it is. That's going to do it for your driver highlights, spotlights, as well as your mid-race report. Back to the racing action. Hot and heavy battle here. 3rd, 4th, and 5th on the speedway. More Carty Ennis going at it from position, switching, swapping, jockeying for that final podium spot. We've got some more battles out on the track. We're going to get to some of those as well. Let's go back. Let's take a look just for a second, guys. Can we go back just a little bit? And there we go. Let's take a look off of the tail end. There. Job well done, gentlemen. This is what I'm talking about. This is why we've got one of the best production teams out there. Asking ye shall receive. Taking a look off of the tail end of the Flamin' Hot Cheetos number 29 machine of Andrew Walt, looking back at the ADS Mountain Land Supply Company number 5 machine of Cody Schultz. You can see Nicholas Wing waiting in the wings. In the background, down to the inside now goes Schultz. At a 4 back across the stripe, drag race the line, give the position to the 5. What a race. We've got a 3-car battle, 3rd, 4th, 5th, another 3-car battle, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Drivers throwing haymakers, getting the job done, jockeying for positions, looking to outdo the next, and outdoing themselves here tonight is each and every one of these drivers in the field, and absolutely amazing. Went into the outside wall. Nicholas Wing, last week's race winner, into the outside wall. Trouble as he snakes his way down the backstretch. Trouble after contact with the outside wall. battle almost too good to turn away from. We're going to jump back to the battle just out in front of these three drivers. Nicholas Wing with a moment, but has recovered well. Now looking to gain a spot from the 5 of Schultz. Let's head back to the battle a little bit in front of these guys. Can we get there? All right, and there we go. We're going to get back out front with the battle inside of your top 5. 3rd, 4th, 5th on the speedway. Separation beginning to happen between Ennis and Moore. Moore stepping away in big trouble. Big slide for Carty. Big slide for Carty. He's going to save it. What a save. My goodness. What a save. So that's going to take an end that battle. 4 position there. Drivers going to separate themselves a little bit now inside of your top 5. Let's go back to this battle that continues to rage on. Cody Schultz giving up 2 positions now, going to fall back into the 7th spot. Nicholas Wing moves to 5th with Andrew Walt sitting in 6th. And we're already about halfway through this green flag run. Drivers are going to be eyeballing pit road here in just a handful of laps. And I don't think they're going to make it. I think they're going to have to stop yet another time. I think they're going to end up being about 10 to 12 laps short on fuel. They're going to have to stop for possibly just a one-can stop. And there you can see Nicholas Wing struggling now. And it's all turn 2. Right? Do we got a turn 2 camera, guys? Do we have that one? Yeah, we've got an exit. All right, we're gonna sit here for a minute. Let's watch as all these drivers come out. Just look at the yaw in these cars, man. They are absolutely sideways coming up out of this corner. There it is on cue. Little bit of a slip on the bottom of the racetrack. That was the 7 of Ed Hauck. Sideways, there's Wing, a little kick sideways. Again sideways, and into the wall. You don't think these drivers are working behind the wheel? Look at them skate around the track. And that is just one corner. That's only one corner. Think about working the wheel that way. 4 corners, 200 plus miles. You don't think these guys are athletes? Well, jump in the car and we'll see how well you do it. I'm willing to bet, and you know, I'm stepping out on a limb, and I'm going to stick my neck out for my fellow esports drivers as well as my fellow race car drivers. In no offense to the esport guys, but more so the real life race car drivers. Caution. We're going to forget all about it. All that's going to go away. Riley Hoots going to have some trouble. Riley Hoots win trouble here. Lap number 65. Let's go check the replay. And there it is. The trouble off of 2. Tried to stop it, but just a long slide and into the wall. That's pretty much going to do it for his day. Riley Hoots, big trouble here on lap number 65. But what's this do now for the pit strategy? Pit road going to be open this time by. Drivers have been steady on that 24-lap run. Do you come to pit road now? A little bit earlier than scheduled. Get off sequence now. Maybe run it from here. Get those 4 fresh tires. Run this thing dry. Get a full tank of fuel and head back out on the track for the final time. I mean, it's going to be right there on the cusp of falling into making this a one-stop race. If everybody visits pit road this time around, and as can be expected, the crew chief's gonna call the drivers to pit road. They'll get 4 tires and fuel. So as we're under caution for the first time here tonight, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. We'll be right back with all your green flag action right here from Michigan International Speedway. You're watching the ASMR Hauck Designs Cup Series. And as promised, back trackside, not missing any of the green flag action here tonight at the Michigan Madhouse 216. Christian Abate works his way off a pit road with the race lead. Alan Bledsoe right back to his outside. Jake and his Derek Moore back in row 2 with Nicholas Wing and Andrew Walton in row 3 for the restart. Alex Wiggins, Cody Schultz, Dave Gage, and Brian Tarnowski round out your top 10. First restart of the night. Who's going to fire off the right way? We'll find out in a moment as we roll to the restart zone on the gas, and away we go. Green flag flies once again here from Michigan International Speedway. All the gas and up through the gears goes Abate. He's going to secure that top spot with a fair amount of ease. Ennis looks to the bottom. Here comes Moore trying to follow through. It is able to keep the power down. Walk up the racetrack and snatch that second position away. Battle now. Third and fourth. Moore and Bledsoe going at it. Nicholas Wing sitting back in the 5th position. Andrew Alton 6th. We'll finish lap 69 as 70 goes on the board. We'll drop the timing and scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you follow along and find your favorite driver in the field here tonight. Close panels back through the field. Let's Go mentioned this man right here, 3-4 wide on the bottom of the racetrack, man. I'm telling you, the man behind the wheel of that number one machine, he was officially your pole sitter here tonight. Had to start from the rear, received a pre-race penalty, had to come down pit road under green flag conditions. It has just been solid all night long. A lot of speed under the hood of the one. He continues his climb towards the front. Fastest lap of the race turned in last time around by race leader Christian Abate, a 38:19. On the timing and scoring charts, fast time there for Abate as Ennis has taken second. Bledsoe comfortably takes over third. Derek Moore right behind him. Nicholas Swing, Cody Schultz, Brenda Bethia, Alex Wiggins, Dave Cage back in the mix. The 404, where did he come from? He rounds out your top 10. An amazing night of racing here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, not just here at Michigan, but also at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Want to give a big shout out to our fellow colleague out there supporting the Sunoco Super Late Model Series here tonight at the historic Music City Short Track. Job well done out there from everybody on the team, putting in work behind the cameras and up in the booth over there in Nashville. Big shout out to everybody back at the headquarters doing their part. Big shout out to my very own production team keeping things going here tonight for us as we get to watch some great racing action on screen here tonight in an amazing feat being done. I cannot underscore the fact that Brendan Mathia is knocking on the door of a top 5. From almost being down one lap. And sure, the late race caution, it helped, not gonna lie. But he was slowly but surely making his way up through the field. Managed to keep himself on the lead lap by just pure perseverance, pushing it to the limits lap after lap. An amazing job here tonight. When will the climb stop for Mathia? We're going to watch it all unfold. But first, we're going to head a little bit further in front. 3 cars tangling for the 3rd position. And it seems that this is where the majority of the battle has been for the majority of tonight's race, right? We've been watching a pretty hot and heavy battle all night long for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We had a short-lived battle, 6th, 7th, and 8th on the speedway. We've had, I'll call it an occasional battle for the race lead. But the field, for the most part, has been covered by that 45 of Christian Abate. He started from 2nd, grabbed the top spot after the first round of green flag pin cycle, and hasn't looked back. Hasn't switched the strategy, has stayed true to the game plan, and it has paid off for Abate. He's got himself a half a second advantage over the Navy number 25 of Jake Ennis, who's up 13 positions now. An amazing job by Jake Ennis as well. I mean, let's not forget about the incredible feat obtained here tonight by Hennis. I mean, from 15th to 2nd here tonight, done pretty much exclusively all of the under green flag conditions. An amazing job by the driver, the crew, the pit crew. An amazing job to get Hennis up through this field. And as we get down just about under 30 laps, we're going to take an opportunity to talk about this driver right here. We haven't really spoke about him very much, but just a solid, quiet night for the man behind the wheel of that number 11 machine, Alex Wiggins. Just a solid performance. Started in the last row on the starting grid. Started from 18th position, now inside of your top 10, sitting in 7th, up 11 positions from where he qualified. He can potentially walk away with the most spots gained here tonight and be the biggest mover of the race. Just a couple of more spots to go. A lot laid out in front of Wiggins. A lot of racing action remaining. And just again, phenomenal job by Wiggins. Tip of the cap as well with this driver. Looks like the Orlando native is finally going to see the chips fall his way. And we hope we're not putting that bad juju on you, right? We hope we're not going to hit him with the broadcaster's curse. Gage just, he's been a magnet for it. Most of the problems this season for Gage, he's just been caught up in other people's mess. Having solid runs. They come to an end under unfortunate circumstances. So here, putting all of the pieces together so far tonight from Michigan International Speedway, Dave Gage back in form. We're going to jump around the track just a little bit because there's been a changing of the guard, and there it is, taking the top spot. One lap ago, Jake Ennis dropped it to the inside of the track, had just enough room to slide up and take the position away from Christian Abati. This has been the first time we have seen Abati pass on track here tonight. And we've got a driver to pit road, the 10 of Andrew McConville to pit road. Drivers should be able to make it another 5 to 7 laps before they have to really start thinking about making that what appears to be final green flag pit stop. But do you bring it in a little early? Right? 25 laps to go. The fuel window opens up next time by. Do you go ahead and play this thing backwards, knowing that you're not going to have a lot of fuel left, if any, at the end of tonight's race coming to pit road so early? Do you bank a lap or two in your back pocket? How do you play it? If I'm one of the drivers sitting outside of your top 5, if I'm Brendan Mathia, Nicholas Wing, Alex Wiggins, Andrew Wald, I'm going to try something, right? You got a deficit. You might as well see if you can't. A little luck on your side. And maybe that undercut pans out. Maybe it works out for you. Drivers, as we've already said, going to be able to stay out for at least another 5 to 7 laps. So you're building yourself a bit of an advantage, and we already seen the gap that can be built off of just one lap. So who brings their driver to pit lane first? Ennis, Abati, Bledsoe, Moore, all inside your top 4. Bledsoe and Moore going at it for third and fourth on the racetrack. If you're one of these drivers, do you hit pit lane? Do you heat up a battle for a minute? If you're Derek Moore right here, do you push it going into 3? Make them think you're going to take the position? Leave them out to dry by keeping it on the bottom and heading to pit road? Can you okey doke? Oh, and it's not going to matter anymore. Not going to matter anymore. Pit strategy has gone out the window. Caution to get a fly here on lap number 86. It looks like Patrick Coro may have been involved in this latest action on track. Let's go high above the track to the turn 3 drone cam for this latest incident. Let's go see what happened with Coro. And it looks like steering column braking on that 91 of Coro. Caution will fly. And, well, I'd like to say it's decision time, but there's no thinking. There's no thinking about it. You're coming for tires. You're coming for fuel. You're going to have enough to get there to the end. They're not going to waste this opportunity. But what this does do is trap McConville right here, one lap down. Sure, he's going to get the lucky dog. He's going to get the wave around. He's going to be able to come back around on the lead lap, pit, get back on the right pit cycle. But the run of what could have been is now never will be. McConville going to start shotgun Sally, tail end of the field. Tail end of the longest line when we drop the hammer once again. And that's the trouble, right? That's the problem that you could have by hitting pit road a little bit early. You could find yourself a lap down. You could find yourself trapped a lap down. Some tracks you can find yourself 2 laps down, and at this point in time, at this juncture in the race, 2 laps down, you cannot afford to fall 2 laps down with what should be less than 20 to go when we drop the green flag once again here at Michigan International Speedway. Jake Ennis going to win the race off of pit road. Christian Amonte in second. And look who has made their way back into the top 3 spots. Brendan Mathia, your pole sitter, has done the unthinkable. He has done the unimaginable, the unbelievable here tonight. Snatched the pole position. Headed to the rear for the start. Was forced to serve a penalty in your opening laps. Stop and go. Pit road penalty. And Mathia has just down, elbows up. We gonna get it. And I hate to be super southern with it and all, but by God, he has done it. Absolutely outstanding. Not in the field here tonight. We, not to be remiss about things, we meant to mention this a little bit earlier throughout tonight's broadcast, but he got caught up with some great racing action. Want to give a huge shout out to driver not in the field here tonight, Lieutenant Patrick Ramos. Miss you out there on the track, bud. Heck of a race season for you. Unfortunate events took you out of Bristol a little bit early. We look forward to catching back up with you on the track. As the season winds down here. Our good buddy behind the wheel of the pace car, Leviticus, gonna visit pit road once again. Will drop the hammer. As your control car, your race leader behind the wheel of the number 25 machine, set to get things started. Once again here, 40 miles of racing action remaining, 19 laps to go here in the Michigan Madhouse 216. Out away from the field fairly easily. As we take a look at Riley Hoot still smoking down there on pit lane, battling Suze on the racetrack. 8th and 9th, 10th Nicholas Wing, right behind him Alex Wiggins looking to break into the top 5. Close quarters racing action off in front. Let's go to the 3-4 car battle at the front. Moore with a big run. Through 1 and 2, had to check up just a little bit. The one on Bethia gonna slide into third. Moore looking for more. Looking to get back into those podium positions. Big dive to the bottom of the racetrack, looking for position side by side out of turn number 3. Chasing after Christian Avanti, who has lost touch with your race leader, Jake Innes. Shot out of a cannon and new fast lap. Quick time on the speed charts for Innes, a 38:05. Man, where was that during qualifying? Field over 200 miles an hour, reaching the long back stretch, and for a big wiggle for Moore. Ooh, that was a big moment. Big snap of the rear of the car. An amazing white knuckle moment there for Moore as he's able to corral the car and keep it underneath him. Keep the position for the time being. You know, we don't want to... I try to watch some of the things we say, but I don't know any other way to put it. Besides, I can't stress it enough. So we're just gonna call it like we will. Not to beat a dead horse, but the old moniker of cream rises to the top on display right here. 4 out of your 5. 4 out of your 6, I apologize. 4 out of your 6 previous race winners inside of your top 5. 5 out of the 6. 5 out of the 5 in the field here tonight inside of your top 10. You want a chance to win a championship. You want an opportunity to be relevant. Coming down to the final. You got, in my opinion, you've got to have visited Victory Lane at some point. I know we have our dark horse pick for the season championship of Andrew Wald, who's yet to visit Victory Lane. I think he's got the talent. I think he's got the ability to possibly snatch that season championship away with just some amazingly consistent finishes. But Andrew, a little bit behind the 8 ball right now, running in the 10th position. Meanwhile, fellow championship competitors at the front, leading laps, looking for the checkered flag. Jake Innes continues to lead 0.3 of a second over championship contender Christian Abati. Brendan Bethia just trying to spoil the show, if you will. Not involved with the battle for the season championship, but you best believe Bethia, one of those drivers that you're going to have to contend with weekend in, week out. Very fast driver, very talented driver, very respectful driver is Mathia, showing you why he is one of the best in the business and in the building here tonight. I guess maybe not in the building, but you understand. Brenda Mathia, job well done. And how about the big movers in the race tonight? We've got 3 drivers that have improved double digits throughout the course of tonight's race. Jake Ennis, your biggest mover of the night, up 14 positions from where he qualified from 15th to 1st. Job well done from Ennis. But Wiggins, Dave Gage, 6th and 7th on the racetrack. Let's take a look at the Celsius Energy Monza number 11 machine of Wiggins, up 12 positions from where he qualified. An absolute fantastic run as we get down to the final 10 laps. Only 20 miles remain. Dave Gage looking to finish things off strong here tonight and walk away with just his 3rd top 10 of the season. But with the season that this 404 has had, and I'm not trying to make fun of him. I'm not trying to troll or poke fun or anything like that. Top 10 is like a win for this 404 this season. He will definitely be happy with the finish. Of course, he wants it to be a little bit better, but just being able to finish where you should. Oh, and there it is. Trouble. Dave Gage around and into the outside wall. Contact off of the front end of the 99 of Nicholas Wing. And that will put us under caution for the 3rd time here tonight from Michigan International Speedway. And now that broadcaster's curse, there it is. We've talked about him too much, so we're going to jump away from him. Man, oh man, trouble again for Gage. So, what do you do now, crew chief? Do we come get tires? We know we got enough fuel. Do we come for tires? We're going to restart this thing with somewhere about 5 laps remaining. Is 5 laps enough time? I mean, drivers were last to pit road about 13 to 14 laps ago. So that is a big difference when it comes to grip levels on tires. But do they have any more to throw on the machine? How many sets of tires do these guys have at the pit box? Playing some games at the front, trying to fake the funk, and it does not work. Nobody caught out by the shenanigans at the front. Top 11 drivers are going to stay out on the track. Brian Janowski, Dave Gage, Nicholas Wing, all to pit lane this latest time around. And just as we were talking about Gage going to be happy with walking away with the points he was eyeballing. Catastrophe, trouble, yet again finds its way into the front seat right on his lap doorstep. Once again, Dave Gage will fall through the running order. And just a tough season. Just a really, really tough season for that 404. Well, here it is. We should receive the one to go this time around. That means we're going to see the high five when we get back. Green flag racing. Will we make it to the end, or will these late race cautions breed cautions? Will we see chaos and calamity strike here in the Michigan Madhouse? What an amazing night. What an amazing race. Tons of green flag racing action here tonight. So if you haven't already, please remember to tell your friends to come hang out. Tell your friends to call their family and friends and come hang out. Watch some great racing action. Support us in that push to 4,000 subscribers. Show these drivers some love. Drop that thumbs up. Click subscribe. Smash that bell. Over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back. At the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. And well, here it is. Here we go. Pace car back onto pit road. Ready to unleash the beast, ready to nail the loud pedal, smash the gas in the restart zone, and green flag flies once again here from Michigan International Speedway. Great jump on the field for Ennis out front. Brandon Bethea right there sitting in second, bottom of the racetrack, but looks like a three-wide moment. Christian Abate stuck in the middle. They're going to push through it as Alan Bledsoe going to fall back to fourth. Derek Moore right there waiting in the wings. Alex Wiggins now moves to sixth. Off of turn 3 across the stripe, 4 laps to go, less than 10 miles of racing action remain. Here tonight as drivers chasing after a checkered flag. And out in the chat, Mr. Cheerio Cringe Lord, yeah, I've thought about doing ASMR. I'm doing it right now. The ASMR Hauck Designs Cup Series. You like how I did that, didn't you? I know you did. Anyways, we're going to continue to move on. Abate with a great race tonight, but unfortunately looks like he will not walk away with the checkered flag, barring any trouble at the front. Jake Ennis with a 3/10 of a second advantage over the field. 6 miles, 3 laps. Ennis looking to start his playoff run with a race win. An amazing job, an amazing race here tonight from Michigan International Speedway. Nose to tail down the backstretch. You can see Bledsoe and Moore going at it for 4th position on the racetrack. Will Abate try to make a move for position? Popsicle sticks on display. 2 to go here from Michigan. In his back across the stripe, he'll lead Mathia and Abate, Bledsoe, Moore round down to your top 5. Big wiggle for Mathia. He corrals the car, keeps it heading in the right direction. Alex Wiggins starts to close in. All the top 5 back into 3. 4-car advantage for the Navy number 25. The Blue Angel sponsored main machine going to come off of 4. See the white flag fly. Final lap here at Michigan. Close quarters racing between your top three. Throw a blanket over them. Just 2 tenths separate first from third into 1 and 2 for the final time. But Thea pushed it on the bottom of Bonti. Look at a crossover. Not going to have the momentum to make the move. They'll follow in the tire tracks of Jake Ennis into 3 out of 4 for the final time. Everybody looking to sink the battleship, but they're not going to get there. It's not going to happen. Jake Ennis going to get the job done here tonight. An amazing checkered flag performance. How about the man walking away in second? Pre-race penalties after winning the pole position from the back of the field, almost 1 lap down, all the way to second. An amazing run for Brendan Bethea. Let's not take away from anything he done here tonight. And how about the run by Christian Abate as well? And you can see all of the love and appreciation for the man that walked away with the checkered flag. All of his fellow competitors and drivers coming around, and a few drivers having a little bit of fun and shenanigans with each other behind them. Oh, we're going to keep things moving here with the race winner, though. An absolute amazing job. Accelerate Your Life, the moniker of the Navy, and he's got the acceleration for life. Amazing job on the restarts in the final few laps of tonight's race. He's going to enjoy a post-race smoke show on the front stretch. All the fans in the stands going to enjoy some photo opportunities. So as he enjoys his celebration, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Get things set up for your post-race drivers interviews. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And backtrack side, high above the track here tonight at the conclusion of tonight's Michigan Madhouse 216. A little bit of a madhouse at the end of tonight's race. A handful of cautions there coming around the tail end of the 108 laps, but an amazing performance out there by some really great drivers. And what do you know? We're going to feature tonight's post race interviews with some drivers that have become pretty familiar guests. Here are these post race interviews. First and foremost, we're going to dial up the man that walked away with the most laps led here tonight. Behind the wheel of that 45, fast as always, back at the front. Once again, starting his playoffs off on the right foot. Christian, it's Dave. How you feeling, bud?
Pretty good after that one. That was a lot of fun tonight.
Now, I don't want to try to rub salt in the wounds or anything like that, but do you think there's anything you could have done maybe a little differently? You were dominating the race, just all outright dominating after that first round of green flag stops. Do you think there's anything you may have been able to go out and change if you could to possibly maintain that top spot?
If I had some inside knowledge of when the yellows were going to come out, I probably wouldn't have tried to save as much fuel as I did in the middle of the race. That was really about it. I mean, if I up until that point in the race, I was looking pretty good, but I just wanted to save like another lap to try and be on pace with Jake and Derek, who were behind me at the time. Alan was right there, but Jake and Derek had an extra lap on me at that point, so I was just trying to get there so I could kind of cover them off a bit. But I mean, I pitted earlier than all those guys did at the start of the race, so that got me the early lead ahead, early lead at the beginning there. So just was trying to do a bit more managing, and I probably should have just shut up and drove. But it it was all good fun though. I mean, Jake and Brendan had great pace there at the end, so no fault of their own. Obviously, like if it went like probably another 5 more laps, I think we probably would have had some side by side racing. But checkered flag falls when it does. So congrats to those guys.
Well, man, as we said, excuse us, an amazing season for you, an amazing way to start tonight's race, dominating the majority of it. I'm not sure if you're familiar with these stats, but this is going to be your 11th top 10, your 9th top 5, and I don't even know how many podiums you've had this year, but an amazing season so far. We're not going to count you out, but before we let you go from the track here tonight, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Just always a huge thanks to you, Dave, and anyone else helping you out here putting these broadcasts on. It's always good fun watching these back, and I'm sure any good entertainment for anyone tuning in right now. Also a big thanks to teammates tonight. I know Derek and Jake, I'm fighting for the chase. So I mean, it's definitely gloves off, but I mean, we also got Andy too in this Red Mist team. So it's been a really good year for us overall. So yeah.
All right, my man. Well, again, we'll wish you the best moving forward. We got 4 weeks left. We know we're going to talk to you again. It's just a matter of when and at what position you're going to be in. But I can assure you and all of your fans out there watching and listening, we will talk to Christian again. But until then, as always, stay safe and, of course, keep it fast. All right, there you have it. Final words for the man that walks away third. Saving a little bit of fuel may have been his one and only mistake here tonight, but unfortunately, as he said, you never quite know when those caution flags are gonna fly, so it's kind of hard to fully plan it out. Right, your strategy's gotta be fluid. He was fluid with it here tonight. Walks away with a third place, and that's going to move us right along the list to the man that walked away with the pole position here tonight, but had to overcome a ton of adversity. Brendan, it's Dave. You got a copy?
I do.
Man, first off, you know, I don't know if your fellow competitors are going to tell you this, but I've got no problem saying it. Man, you absolutely lit the track up. Early penalty, at the start of the race, not only going to the back of the field, but having to come to pit road as well. How were you able to keep your head in the game and just get after it?
Yeah, I mean, I was just telling myself to keep the car clean, try to run as smooth and fast as possible, and just keep the distance between me and the leaders, at a neutral pace, so they weren't gaining, but I wasn't like overdriving the car or anything, and just try and keep it. It took me 2 pit cycles to get that first caution, so I kept just short pitting by like 1 lap or so. Just that way I could gain a little bit more time, have a little bit more cushion. I mean, my whole goal objective there was to just keep it clean, smooth, and stay on the lead lap in case a caution came out, and caution came out.
Well, clean and clean and smooth, indeed. The caution flag flew. You got yourself back in contention, then started to work your way to the front of the field. Late rate cautions may have helped out a little bit, but do you think how many more laps would you needed to really go after that race win?
Yeah, I felt like I was reeling him in. All right, I think probably it's hard to say. I'm not into hypotheticals, but maybe 2 laps. He kept not. I don't think he kept doing it, but a couple of times there he overdrove the corner. Probably nervous, obviously, trying to get the most out of the vehicle, and I was just backing up the entry and trying to keep it smooth and get on the gas earlier, and that's what was reeling me in. He kept going up the track. I just stayed where I wanted to run, and um, maybe 2 laps if he makes another mistake.
Well, Brandon, it's been an absolute pleasure to watch you throughout the course of the season. 2 race wins so far this season. Almost got that third. We're going to look forward to you being a force throughout the course of these final 4 weeks. Before we let you go here tonight, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, first shout out's gotta be to the admins for allowing me to race tonight. Had some unfortunate circumstances last week, so grateful for Dave talking through it with me. All the admins, Ed, that were a part of that decision. So I'm super grateful that I got to show my talent tonight, even though I had to start from the back. But at least I had the opportunity. You for the broadcast. I go back and watch them every time, and you do a phenomenal job. So one top tier broadcast on the service, and then all my teammates, Alan and Riley, just always making me better, always talking strategy. And then lastly, just all the fellow competitors, Jake, Christian for racing it clean. They're really good drivers. There's a lot of good drivers here, so I'm just grateful to be a part of this.
Well, Brendan, sometimes we need a little bit of I won't say a helping hand, but a kind hand to show that we have that redemption in us, and we're able to prove some theories wrong that some people may have about us. Tonight, you were able to silence some of the critics and put some of those troubles behind you with an amazing performance, a clean performance. Absolutely one of the best runs we've seen uh, all season long. So hats off to everything that you were able to do here tonight. We wish you the best over these final 4 weeks. And as always, man, before we let you go, remember to stay safe and keep it fast.
Awesome, I appreciate you.
All right, there you go. Final few words from Brendan Mathia. You heard it from him. Little bit of a scuffle and mix up last week. Got everything worked out with the powers that be. Penalties handed down. Took it on the chin. Did what was demanded of him and showed the type of driver, the type of speed, and the type of resilience that he has. Mathia worked his way all the way back to second. An amazing job for that driver of the one machine, as well as his entire crew. And that's going to move us right along to the man that takes the first checkered flag chasing after a championship here this season. Jenkins, Dave, how good's it feel to start your playoff run in victory lane?
It feels amazing. um, it's nice to get a win in the chase, especially starting off on a high note. Um, got a couple of races to come, but I feel pretty confident, except for, or I feel pretty confident for all of them except Walk is Gone. So guess we'll see how those go.
Oh, well, I mean, walking away with good finishes like this, if you can string together a handful of these finishes, and maybe not necessarily race wins, but you may be able to offset a little bit of the, um, I'm gonna call it uncomfortability, with the road course that we do have right in the midst of this championship run. Want to talk to you real quick about these late race restarts, though. How are you able to keep calm and keep the field behind you?
Well, it's all about just timing that restart. You got a huge guy car restart zone. I don't know how long it is, but um, I was just trying my best to spread the field out and kind of go like a quarter of the way in, so it's kind of a little unexpected, and I'd get about a quarter second on second place. But the thing is I just didn't have a good turns 1 and 2 on restart, so I needed some insurance. But everyone was battling really hard in the entire race, and um, I'm glad that I had a lot of good battles. Didn't I wasn't able to get practice in, so the entire race was pretty much my practice, and it's nice that it ended in the best way possible.
Well, man, you may want to think about not practicing for the rest of these things, man. If you can get out there and run like that without any practice time throughout the night and just getting after it in race trim, man, job well done. We do want to mention, you said it there, no real practice. You gained 14 positions, so you started way deep in the field. You were able to get the job done, work your way up through the field. I'm not sure if you're aware of this stat, but 5 top 10s, 5 top 5s, 2 race wins now to your record. Um, so an amazing season starting to culminate here at the end of the season. Do you think you got what it takes to raise the season hardware at the end of this thing?
It's gonna be close. I got my Red Biz podcast teammates, Derek Moore and Christian Abbott. After this race, they've been calling me names. They've been calling me names after being the first guy to win the chase, but they're a great group of guys. No matter which one of us wins, we're gonna have a fun time doing it, and I don't care if it's me or not. I had a great season. I had a fun time racing with everyone, and I'm just glad to be here.
Well, man, an amazing job here tonight. Before we let you go, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
I'd like to thank Red Miss Podcast, of course. I'd like to thank Christian Abbott, Derek Moore, and Andrew McConville for being great teammates, even though they're trying to make fun of me right now. They're probably laughing. Um, and I'd like to thank everyone in ASMR for putting on every driver for just racing clean. Um, for the most part, I guess you could say, but they're all great drivers. I have a blast racing with all of them. I'd like to thank Dave Gage and Ed Hawk for just putting on a good show, and I'd like to thank you, Dave, and the fans for putting on a good broadcast, and I can't wait to watch it later.
Whoa, man, enjoy the race win. We can't wait to see what the rest of these championship playoffs hold for you in that Navy Blue Angels sponsored number 25 machine. We look to see you back in victory lane, but until then, stay safe and as always, keep it fast.
You too, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Found a few words from the man that walks away with the checkered flag, picking up win number 2 this season behind the wheel of that number 25 machine. Fast as always, Jake Ennis works his way to the front and walks away with the win. That's going to pretty much do it for us here at the production booth tonight from Michigan International Speedway. You can hear producers already hitting those buttons in the background. You know the familiar sounds. You know it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results here from the Michigan Madhouse 216 in the ASMR Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series. Walking away with the checkered flag tonight, top spot on the track belongs to the 25 of Jake Ennis. Brandon Bethia able to recover and come all the way back through the field into second, with Christian Amati walking away with your final podium position. Derek Moore back in fourth, and Alan Bledsoe finishes out your top five. Alex Wiggins slides home in sixth, with Andrew Walt coming home in seventh. Cody Schultz back in eighth, 91 of Patrick Coro in ninth, and Zach Miller got a pilot his 38 machine home to 10th. Brian Tarnowski back in 11th, 12th place tonight to Andrew McConville. Nicholas Wing, 13th on the track. 404 of Dave Gage. Late race troubles once again. Gonna relegate Gage back to 14th. Ed Hauck in 15th. Riley Hoot 16th, 17th tonight from Michigan to 3. Machine of Donovan Cardi, Daniel Jensen, and Jeffrey Engel finish out the 19-car field here in the Michigan Madhouse for the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series. What an amazing night. What an amazing run. What a great way to start and kick off the championship season. We've got 4 more weeks of action-packed racing action coming at you. Don't be left out. Before we go here tonight, once again, want to give that love and appreciation to these drivers. Join us in that push to 4,000 subscribers. As always, drop these drivers that thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here in the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. Whether you're sliding in to say hey, or you are one of our dedicated fans, friends, family, or one of our many different sponsors across our many different leagues and series, we appreciate each and every one of you. From Butt Kicker, Beef Jerky Unlimited, Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet, Mountain Mafia Kennels Out of Work, RP, as well as Hauck Designs and David Spears Designs. Each and every one of you make this thing happen and go around. We wouldn't be anything without all of you. So from myself, Dave of the Cave, and everybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.